Okay, so there is a lot to pack in, and let's dive deep on the first look of King that we saw. I also think it's important to first understand that this is not a teaser or trailer, but a title announcement, so this is very character specific. And as it is Shahrukh Khan's birthday, the material is solely intended to celebrate not only the character but the man himself. King has also had a very interesting journey, at least when you notice it from the public eye. First, it was assumed to be Sohana Khan's feature film debut for theatres, which would be directed by Sujoy Ghosh. Then progressively, it just became bigger and bigger in scale, so much so that it transitioned from becoming a Shah Rukh Khan supporting role to a Shah Rukh Khan film, with half of Bollywood also being cast in the movie. As it became an SRK headliner to look forward to, I can only assume that the demands of how it should aesthetically look, specifically from an action point of view, just got elevated in scale. And I believe the original idea of what Sujoy Ghosh was intending was somewhat moving away from its understated quality, eventually becoming a full-blown commercial masala movie, and in came Siddharth Anand to take over the director's role. While Sujoy Ghosh will be credited for the story of the film, Siddharth Anand post-war outside of the YRF spy universe has only made Fighter, which was a mixed bag for most. However, one cannot deny that Siddharth knows how to mount a big-scale action film, probably being the only dependable commercial action director in Bollywood, if talent is not imported from Tamil or Telugu cinema. There were many rumors of this movie being a remake of Leon the Professional, which I already call bullshit on, because this movie, from the first look itself and the cast involved in the project, I'm sure is going to have the quintessential Sujoy Ghosh twists with multiple villains and Siddharth Anand's action palette, which is far removed from what Leon the Professional, which, by the way, in retrospect, when I look back, also had really creepy undertones that I believe the movie will not venture into at all. This made me even more curious about what the movie may be about, and there is a lot to talk about the first title reveal. So off the bat, I have to tell you why I am not getting ahead of myself regarding the moral compass of the character, because I was gaslit into believing that Kabir from War 2 is going to venture into the dark side. But when we watched the film, we barely got even a glimpse of the dark alleys Kabir will venture into, immediately becoming a loyal Deshbhakt when dealing with the dilemma of killing Luthra or not. We went from the trailers believing that we may get an unhinged Hrithik Roshan finally, who has no loyalties to a country, to it straight up being a hero's tale. Here, however, we have SRK describing on the number of kills he has done. Most importantly saying, "Achhe log the ya bure, kabhi pucha nahi." This makes me urge, hope and believe that SRK may be playing a hitman who only cares about the job being handed to him, irrespective of whoever is the target. He only believes in getting the job completed. This is what I had hoped and wished for with Hrithik in War 2, but we were shortchanged with that promise. बस उनके आंखों में ये एहसास देखा कि ये उनकी आखिरी सांस है. That's what we want. Cutthroat and badass, but I believe this is all wishful thinking, because I can only assume what is going to happen, as SRK seems to be serving time in jail, is that he is going to chance upon a case where he stands for the right cause and will protect who I can only assume will be Sohana. So the title reveal promises something beautiful, with SRK not caring about who is right or wrong and getting the job done, but come on. This is SRK we are talking about. You're not going to get the 90s unhinged version over here. You're going to get the anti-hero who has a dark past but does the right thing in the present timeline. Hazar jurm, 100 देशों में बदनाम, दुनिया ने दिया सिर्फ एक ही नाम is a pretty cool transition to go to the title card of a new Shahrukh Khan experience. And I love the background music utilized for the same, giving a very earthy and jazz aesthetic appeal to the character as he struts out of the jail. Dar nahi, dehshat hoon promises a lot. And I'm looking at you, Siddharth Anand, because if you're promising dehshat and saying that this is a new SRK experience, then I hope it isn't an extension of what we have already seen SRK excel at in the likes of Pathan and Jawan. And I say this because there are similarities that I'm concerned about regarding the visual aesthetic of this movie and the way the scenes seem to be designed. I think this is one of SRK's best looks in years. I even love the tattoos on his arms, but there is one thing I'm slightly getting tired of, and that is this baritone, husky voice that is almost becoming consistent with SRK's filmography. Almost an intentional heaviness to his dialogues that we especially got to see in Pathan and with the character of Vikram Rathore in Jawan. I love SRK's voice, and he can bring an intensity with his natural tone too. And I don't know why now every action or every intense scene has to be with this husky tone. That is of course not his natural voice, but I presume is what the makers and SRK thinks sounds intense. Secondly, I can definitely see the action choreography and some of the camera work is like the tricks that were employed by Atlee in Jawan, which includes the camera turning around in 360 as the character also moves the same way, or the color palette of the film with large hues of grey, green and red, which has also become the staple of Red Chilli's entertainment. I also noticed that the wire work in the scenes also become largely apparent. When one is moving, you can tell that they are not naturally going from one place to the other, but almost being guided because they are hanging from something. This is especially true for the frames in which SRK shoots someone or when he runs on top of a cage. These were the only hiccups that I did find in the title reveal of King, but there is one thing that is undeniable, and I think something that Hindi film fans will attest to, is that SRK taking such long breaks between movies almost creates a void in the calendar year. I hope he does do at least a movie a year, because when he does appear, it's always a festival. Everyone was with gleeful anticipation waiting for Siddharth Anand's next tweet regarding King. The hype is unprecedented when he appears, but I guess there is an art to also such scarcity. The less we see him, the more hype associated with the films. I guess it's a vicious cycle and I'm being slightly greedy too. But hey, I cannot wait for more marketing material to drop because I'm genuinely interested in what the film may be about. So Joy Ghosh credited with the story and Siddharth Anand taking over the reins as director seems like an interesting combination. Also, just on a concluding note, there is only one King. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the King title reveal. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.